The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 welcomes you to Meridian's favorite TV personalities and three-time CMA nominees for Broadcast Personality of the Year. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie.
Here we are.
It's Blue Day that I just noticed.
Blue Day. Here we are again. We must have our
ESPN
on, and they sync. We did green yesterday. Showed up. We both in green. Now we both in blue.
Honestly, we don't talk after hours. We don't have time.
We don't have time. But here we are.
Go, go, go. Boy, I got hung on some George Strait this morning. The soundtrack to Pure Country.
Yes.
And I got hung up. Do y'all remember, Darling, When Did You Stop Loving Me?
Whew. I tell you, that was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Old Dusty, he done the right thing. Yeah. He was the dancing chicken. And we're going to tell you about some chickens here in a minute.
They're running everywhere.
Everywhere. Y'all stay close. We'll tell you about that. But first, we go to the Scotty Ray Wrong Department as we find out more information. And Odie, I'm going to turn this over to you and let you explain, and then I'll give my opinion.
Well, this is Happy 420 Day. So I guess this kind of worked out as why we have to make a correction. When we say something wrong, we try and correct it. We want to make sure that we're doing that professionally. And we found out yesterday after the show that we were wrong about weed and wine, or wine and weed.
And it's seldom that happens, but...
Yeah, but where do you think your mind goes when you hear wine and weed? You're going to have a sip and a puff, but that is not a puff pass sanctioned event.
What is it?
They're weeding the garden. So bring your hoe and your rake and help them weed the garden.
You're making this worse than it already is.
It sounds that bad. So they want you to come and drink a little bit of wine and help them weed the garden.
All I could hear is, what was that comedian's name? Jeff Foxworthy.
Oh, yeah.
If somebody yells, "Hold down," and your girlfriend hits the floor, you might be a redneck. But let me get this straight now.
We thought this was a Cheech and Chong event.
This is what it looks like. Let me just show you here. This is Cheech and Chong. As we dig this up, the actual name. Now I have to give them 10 points for being clever. Wine and weed, but I don't care how you shake that stick. That sounds like it's like Wayne Williams is going to have a busy day.
Yeah,
down at his store.
Wine in one hand and a doobie in the other.
I'm not even sure where the event is. Do you know where it's going to be held?
It's got to be at the Council of Arts or Art Council or something. Do you know what the most said word in America is?
Weed today.
Here.
And I don't get this. I truly don't. Today is the day that can I say hippies?
Yeah.
Okay, they made this 420 day. I don't understand it. I don't know what it means, but it has something to do with...
well, that was where the fellas was meeting at 420 every day to go get high. It was some college kids out in California. And... Amy looked at me crazy last night, and she goes, "You just couldn't think of that band." I said, "No, it was the Grateful Dead." And these teenagers were following this band, and it would go around the country during their touring. And that was their code word. Since they met around the corner at 420 to go take them a puff and a pass, that was their code. They just say, "Hey, 420," and that meant let's go smoke one. And that just kind of hung around the Grateful Dead. And then as they spread across the country and everybody was, what's this 420 y'all keep saying? Well, that's code for let's go smoke a joint. So that's where 420 got connected with Mary J. Warner.
And now we have an event, Meridian, called Weed and Wine, or Wine and Weed.
Nothing to do with smoking anything.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Reminds me of...
disappointed if I'd have shown up with a doobie to share with somebody.
That doobie, I don't even know what a doobie is. It reminds me of Charlie Daniels. I was passing through Jackson, Mississippi on Saturday night, and I heard that left rear tire start to whine. I grabbed me a chair and said, "Watch him, folks, because he's a thoroughly dangerous man." And then he went on, if y'all know the song, he goes on to describe the young man that is trying to get him in the bar. And he's holding him off with the chair in Jackson, Mississippi. But now that we've cleared that up, we were in the wrong department there. Yeah. Now everyone knows. And I think that's maybe September.
August the 29th. No.
You know way too much about this event.
Because I researched it. I got that text yesterday. And she said, April 29th. It's this month. Oh. April 29th. She said, you two are not right. Y'all are crazy. And I said, y'all the one put out weed and wine. Yes, it's going to be the arts community events.
Okay. Well, I should have called Donna Jill. Donna Jill would have known all about this. I should have called the courthouse and found out. Snoop Dogg, we're understanding we should have asked him.
Snoop would have known.
Absolutely.
Jim said Deadheads, the Grateful Dead.
Yeah. Well, let's start out with what's going on in the area, and let's move over and let's start as we talked about. And then after I listened to George Strait, I got into John Anderson, chicken truck, behind it I'm stuck. And we'd send that out this morning to the Neshoba County Sheriff's Department because those boys need that. They've had chickens all in their life for the last few days as we go to Highway 16 for a bad accident yesterday afternoon. Let's pull this up. This is Highway 16 shut down for about 3 hours. Why? There's a chicken truck in the road. And look at this. And these are live chickens loose in Neshoba County. There was 3,000 chickens that got away.
They said, not today.
They wouldn't get delivered. They were just squawking and running. I don't know who the chicken catchers were, but they were busy yesterday. So I don't think anybody was seriously hurt. Maybe, if I'm understanding right, a car pulled out in front of a chicken truck and he done his best to stop and chickens went everywhere.
This was a live chicken truck, and there's chickens everywhere.
Some things you just got to remember. But that was what was going on yesterday. If you were hung up in that traffic on Highway 16, there was just no way to get around it. And there were some back roads that you could take that took you off the beaten path. But a big wreck there in Neshoba County as we go to find out all of that. Woo! Tell you, the Sheriff's Department was busy.
Yes, they were.
We got a lot to cover this morning. There's a lot of events that happened that we're going to be telling you about. We say good morning to Miss Winnie. Denise joining us there. Also, Gene Ulmer there.
Golly, Miss Debbie. Hey, Debbie. I tell you, she is one of the nicest people.
Enterprise
Steve.
Joining us there. Karen.
Jeff. Joe. I tell you, we've got some people coming in.
Yeah, Joe agrees. She can't believe we were wrong.
Yeah. Bring the goats on over to Scruggs Road. City hadn't cut grass in 2 years.
Well, now we know.
It won't take them long. A goat will clean up a yard. I started to threaten getting me a couple and just have some poles put out.
They love trampolines, too, I hear.
About every 4
Convertible
hours.
Roofs.
Oh, yeah. Anything to get a shade.
Y'all watch them.
Man.
Good morning. It's 51 right now as you're starting your day. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. If you're an outdoorsman, Garrett's Outfitters is the place to head to in Meridian. They have a complete line of gloves to keep your hands warm in these cold mornings, toboggans to block that wind, and America's favorite Carhartt, from the rugged overalls to slacks and shirts. Work boots and mud boots as well. Browse around the gun accessories and a complete line of just about any gun. Protect your investment, your guns, with one of the many Browning gun safes they have to choose from. For the outdoorsman in your family, it's Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, Meridian.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
Hey, good morning, Scotty Ray and Odie. We want to send out a thought here of sadness in our area. There's no other way to word this. We would find out, and we got word of it early, that something had happened. It would be late afternoon before I got confirmation on this and felt comfortable to make sure that all family members were notified of what went on. But we had the loss of life in Meridian yesterday, and this time a small child.
Yeah, it's devastating to everybody in that family. The first responders who had to go out.
Oh, yeah.
This was just a traumatic event. And our prayers and thoughts really go out to everybody with this.
That's 5 years old is what we're being told, and you keep them in your thoughts. As with anything that happens like this, an autopsy is done with a youngster when something like this happens. That's customary, and our heartfelt prayers go out to that family there. It
definitely does.
That's really, really bad there of things in the area. Early this morning, as you were waking up, Mosby Road was the scene.
We had some fires this morning.
Boy, I'm telling you, that Meridian Fire Department was all out there. They had to go put out a car fire.
Oh, Engine 3, they're on top of it, too. I tell you, all of them out there with Meridians, they're pretty quick. They get up, get dressed, and get in that truck and get on down the road. So a big shout out to Engine 3 there this morning.
That was 5,000 block of Mosby Road where that happened there. Now, also, and this is where we really have to pull together as a community to help those, because we've got someone in our community now that is now without a home. Probably everything that they own is gone. And let's pull this up and take a look at this as we go to the Clarkdale community this morning. A fire broke out in the 300 block of Spring Hill. And let me just show you what this picture looks like of what is left of their home. That is what is all that's left there. Just a little bit of brick. So keep them. Everybody knows that community. If you're from there, lend a helping hand. If someone comes up with clothes sizes of what they need, please send us an inbox or an email so we can get that out to help someone, Odie.
Yeah, let us know, because and we'll make contact with them, because they're definitely going to need some help. And I'm going, while we're talking about help, there's one thing coming up that we're going to ask the community to really help with, and that is Feed the Hungry.
What's that?
And so that's coming up. This is a brand new event that the Bikers United for Children, who do the Christmas deal, they said, Christmas is great for the kids, but what about some of the elderly that are going hungry?
Is this the meeting that you and I went to back?
Yes.
And so it's now time for that.
It is done, and started the committee. We had our second meeting Monday, which is the first one I was able to attend. But this is going to be a big deal in June 10th. So that's coming up. I saw something that really touched my heart, because I've had people tell me, well, I'm not helping them. They get this, they get that, they've got help. So why should I spend a little extra money to feed them with mine? And this right here just touched me. It said, Jesus knew, but Judas ate too.
Woo! Odie, that's some strong. That's a strong.
Right there, boy. Whoop, whoop. So this is something that's being put together where you go to the grocery store and spend $5 more each time you go.
Yeah.
To go to the Wesley House. So more on that to come. But
I think they're coming tomorrow to speak with us, aren't they? Is that right?
Is that who it is? I can't.
You wrote me a note. I found it in my book over there.
I have to.
You didn't put a name with it. You said the preacher's coming, so I assume. Does that sound right?
I don't know who all I've booked up in here.
Odie's booking people that we don't know.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Ken Rainey is going to be joining us. I hadn't set the date, but Ken is going to be coming with us to talk about an event in the Meridian area also. So,
awesome guy.
Yeah, can't wait to hear from Ken. One of my radio heroes. Was there when I started many moons ago. As we look at that, hey, we had an early morning. I'm trying to think of it. It was like booking Dano. It happened. Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. Here we go. Boogie there, boogie there. It all started over on Old Marion Road and would come to an end at 9th Avenue and 18th Street when the culprit or pursuer. What was that? The Jackie Gleason said, I'm pursuing the pursuit. Well, I have to think about it.
Yeah.
You know the line I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. I love that show.
And I can't say the next line because Jackie Gleason said some words you shouldn't now that I remember. But it all came to an end there when someone would not stop when the blue lights came on. They ended up being cuffed, and I'm going to use the word detained until we get more from Chief Deputy Ward Calhoun as to actually what went on. This is my on the scene reporter going, Scotty Ray, this is what I see.
There's cuffs involved, so something's happening.
In the back of the car, he went.
Whoops.
Started out that morning just right there. Let's see here, 7:14 already this morning. There's a few things. Let me see what else I wanted to mention here that went on. We had gunfire in a couple of places last night across the Meridian area. Let's go to 22nd Street. Right here is what we would have. Man. This is 24th Avenue. This is where the Point Rexall used to be. It'd be right to the right of there. In this area here, gunshots was heard. And I do get notes that people say, look, I'm tired of reporting it because nothing ever stops it. They're doing the best they can is the best I know to say on this.
Well, the officers are doing everything they can. Somebody calls in a gunshot, they get there. No one is walking around with a gun. Our laws are there to protect everybody, and one of those laws is if you're not doing something that's suspicious, you can't just go up and throw these people down and look for a gun.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the problem.
Well, it is, because other countries...
that's the way it used to be.
Do stuff a little bit different. And yes, I mean, I in some of that, everybody has rights.
I was...
But that's what cameras are for.
I had stopped at Mr. Rogers a few months back, and a gentleman was there, and he introduced himself, and he goes, man, I'm about 72 years old, and he was telling me how he grew up and he moved back here. And he said, when I was a kid, you walked down the road after 11 o'clock, he said, they checked you. He said they were going to check you, and he said we had better streets when the police could do that. That's
right. We did profiling.
We got to say a big thank you to Keith McCary. He got my words right for us. The pursuer and the pursuee.
That's right.
As Jackie Gleason said it.
That's right. And I tell you, we're...
well, thank you, Mr. Bandit.
we're doing getting items for Rolling Stone.
What's that got to do with Jackie Gleason? I was right in the middle of my thought.
But Keith, he has played an intricate part.
Thank you, Keith, there.
But yeah, I did interject during the pursuer and the pursuer. Carry on, sir.
Oh, I'm done now. I just...
Well, now I'm interested.
Jackie Gleason. But a big thank you, Keith, and all the folks helping out with that event.
Yeah, he's really done a lot with that hospital joining in with us.
That's wonderful. Hum. We want to remind.
Is that what he said?
Yes, it is. 7:17 this morning. We want to remind you of this. If you were in Marion yesterday and you noticed there was no green truck that passed by, there was a reason. As we spoke with the mayor yesterday, at the last minute they had truck troubles and the trucks could not pick up garbage. So today your garbage will be picked up from yesterday. They'll have to work double duty to get that straightened out. A big thank you for the mayor of Marion letting us know what was going on.
He stays on top of things.
Oh, Larry don't let anything pass him.
No, he doesn't.
Always got a smile. Marion, Mississippi. You got a smile to that roundabout, cuz. Be going, Mayor, we got a traffic jam.
I'm down here watching it.
Good morning to you. Let's put a smile on Let's Face today. It's going to be a good day.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Folks, if your yard is needing grass and you need it quick, talk to our friends at Coates Hydro Seeding. They offer residential and commercial. The great thing about this, it doesn't wash, the water treads, and it holds the soil in place. It's the easiest way to grow grass. That's hydro seeding. You'll get a great looking lawn without all the dry spots. How many times have you put out seed and it gets washed away, blown away, or even the birds eat it? Talk to our friends at Coates Hydro Seeding, 601-728-1954.
Your local farmer knows a good deal when he sees one. The L-Series Kubota tractor is the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA and offered at Parish Kubota with 0% financing available. Come see why we're more than a tractor store at Parish Tractor.
And welcome back. Scotty Ray and Odie as we find out the garbage pickup is today there in Marion. A few other things. Let's see here. Yesterday was a big day. As we mentioned, Neshoba County was very busy. I got several messages, and this is how this works. We get messages all the time. If you see something, tell us about it. Then we start to find out the facts that are around this. As we go to a big story that broke late yesterday afternoon, Neshoba County back in the news with human remains found on the side of the road. Now, this would be east of Philadelphia, the rural route, as we like to call it.
The rural route.
Out in the Mars Hill community, out with the Methodist Church, not far from there, where the county road 729 and 733 meet, just how 491 runs out before it reaches Highway 16, really close to the Kemper County line. Eric Clark said a motorist was going along about 7:45 yesterday morning and noticed something on the side of the road, and they stopped. And they got out, Odie, and sure enough, it looked like human remains. So they picked up the phone, and 15 minutes later, deputies were on scene, and it was human remains. MBI was called in. They even called in James Moore, the Kemper County Sheriff, due to the fact it was right there at the line in case something had happened in Kemper.
Get both of them working together.
Yeah, so everybody knows the facts there. The bones have been shipped to Jackson, to the Mississippi Crime Lab. They're investigating this. Now, what the sheriff tells us, we don't want anybody to get worried that there's somebody on the loose hurting someone. These are very old bones, 2 years plus. It could be a lot of plus to that. They don't know, but they're investigating it. The best that could be said on scene of looking at this is the bones resembled that of a female. Not 100% confirmed, but in other cases, when they've run up on this, of what female remains look like is what it appeared to be.
You know, this could be, and that's why it's going to go to the crime lab. This could be foul play. This could be someone that was walking down the side of the road real late at night. It was dark, got hit. Somebody just thought it was a deer.
Right.
We don't know, and that's what they're investigating to make sure that that they find out exactly what happened. So if something did happen, they can start doing an investigation.
And they were all over this. Anything that was going on in the community in that area, they went and investigated. Anybody that was hauling dirt, they went there to make sure that something wasn't dug up and then it dropped out of the back of the truck. They searched any and all in the neighborhoods there. And as soon as more details of this happen, we will pass that information along to you. I'm telling you, the deputies there in Neshoba County were busy. Eric Clark boys was all over, but good job on that.
Yeah, there's a good group of guys up there.
I always enjoy talking with them there. Boy, Meridian was full of, hey, I'm hung in traffic. What's going on? It was the scene everywhere yesterday. Is those MDOT boys, they've been busy.
They've been working all over the place.
Let's go out on the outskirts of Meridian. This is right past PV headquarters. You know where I'm talking about, Highway 493. Here's what it looked like yesterday afternoon about 5 o'clock. I'm hungry and I can't get home, is what that says.
Well, you know, they've got that, and I don't know so I'm not going to say. I'm not sure what they've got going on. They may be doing some cleanup over there. That's an area that will flood at certain points.
Yep, yeah, it sure does.
So we'll see.
We had a little traffic jam again, North Hill Street at Highway 39 yesterday. This is becoming a common practice until they finish that little intersection there.
Yeah.
Pretty rough there. We had an accident there also, a little fender bender. So that even furthermore backed traffic up. Y'all watch that. I always talk about this. That would be a rough area to live on. Because at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, it's hard to get out of your driveway.
Yeah, you're not going to get out. You're stuck right there.
Maybe you were trying to get some gasoline yesterday out at Highway 19 near Wally World. Well, whoops, we had a little fender bender there also.
There's a lot of people to go through that intersection.
Yes, it is.
Awful lot of people.
So that was a common occurrence. And then back out to, let's see where we are here. Highway 19 South out near Southeast, and always the question is, can't they do this when school's not in, like maybe after the rush hour in the morning and not the rush hour in the afternoon?
Yeah.
As we see here, this is Highway 19. They've been working out there also for several days now.
You would think you want to work around asphalt, that working at night would be a little bit cooler.
Yeah, buddy.
But I don't work there. So
yeah.
I don't know.
We can't tell you what's going on there. Now, a couple of things that we do know that is happening tonight. It is called Third Thursday. What's that say over there, Third Thursday?
Yeah, Third Thursday at 5:30 p.m.
Dumont Plaza, where to 8 o'clock tonight. I think there's some bands and entertainment downtown Meridian. We hope you can make it out for that. Now, as we get into tomorrow, the 3-Foot Festival will get underway. There is rain in the forecast for that. It'll be perfect on Saturday. We're assuming that everything is still on track. We'll watch this, and if anything changes for tomorrow night downtown, we'll let you know on that.
Yeah, that weather moving in they still hadn't really pinpointed it. They said pretty much afternoon all the way through the evening. So hopefully they'll come out with a little bit better of a time frame of how we're going to have to deal with this. So.
Yeah, somebody brought up the J turn down there on Highway 145 by Clarkdale. Yeah, that's been a mystery.
Yeah, and they're still trying to figure it out.
You got to go way down and turn around and come back up.
You can't take a left. You got to take a right and then make a U-turn and come back.
Has it cut back on accidents out there?
It has.
So it may be working. It's just a little bit slower to get to where you're going.
Yeah. It still wouldn't have been my choice as a fix.
Right.
But
no one, I don't think we've had any major accidents since that's been done.
No, we hadn't. So we've been lucky there.
Yes, sir, Bob.
Yeah, so I guess that's a good thing.
James Sullivan joins us. Thank you there. And if you're watching from home on television, we'd love to hear from you as well. You can log on to Facebook or YouTube and comment with us as you watch the show. Scotty Ray Report. Look it up. We'll be there.
Yeah.
Now, here's something that gets under our skin. Now, I think you'll agree with this, is we see somebody that's been in jail for murder, and it looks like they may be up for parole now when they were told they were going to have 2 life sentences given to them. How does that happen? Well, a new law was put in that if you were under the age of 18 and sentenced to life in prison, that now you could be eligible for parole, and that's what it is. And a Jackson family is all upset about this. This passed in 2021. James Williams III shot and killed his father, James Williams Jr., stepmother, in South Jackson in 2001. He was convicted in 2005 for the murders. He was 17 at the time of a double homicide and originally sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms with no possibility of parole. Pay attention to that. He could be released due to a U.S. Supreme Court decision which ruled juveniles should be given the possibility of parole. Now,
I have a problem with that.
I think the family does too. They're writing letters trying to stop this.
Yeah, that does not make sense. You have a judge and a jury. I assume that there was a jury involved with this, that says you are guilty.
2 life sentences. So this was a pretty brutal, most likely, this was not...
You killing your mama and your daddy?
Man.
There's a problem there. Yeah, I don't think you ought to get out. In my eyes, I don't think you should have been living as long as you did.
Can they hire us to be like consultants to people that just don't know what they're doing?
They need to. We could straighten this up.
We'd carry it live and say, "No."
Yeah. Go out back and line up against that wooden fence, boy.
We'll be right back. Scotty Ray and Odie as we start your early morning.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical, 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian, 601-693-6374.
Bring on the amazing colors of spring. It's the perfect time to spend in the yard. Al's Garden and Gift voted the best place to shop for beautiful bedding and vegetable plants, shrubs, hanging baskets, succulents, roses, and ferns in the state. Full line of mulches, soils, sod, and longleaf pine straw available for freshening up flower beds. There's always unique gifts, candles, pottery, and new shipment of delicious gourmet sauces, spices, rubs, jellies, and jams too. Bloom with happiness. Come visit the expanded nursery today at Al's Garden and Gift.
J&J Tire Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. And they even do work on motorcycles. With the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian.
Patrick Allen Companies services and repairs all brands of overhead doors, residential and commercial. Our service technicians are factory trained and have over 125 years of combined experiences. At Patrick Allen Companies, we are not interested in being the biggest, just the best. We are just 4 miles south of Meridian on Highway 145. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
Well, as always, new careers are great. They help you and your family out, and also helping other people. MCC has a variety of different choices for you to make when it comes to, well, choosing a way to make a living. As we look at this, let's talk about EMTs today.
Yeah, so you can start your medical career with EMT. You can move up to a paramedic. You can do that right here at MCC, and there's multiple places that you can go work, not just on an ambulance, but you can work in the ER, or you can work at some of these doctors' offices. But to be able to get on an ambulance and be called to possibly save someone's life and make your heart feel good, but you can start your new career, get your education right here at home at MCC, and start off another life for your family.
They got the sharpest scissors of anybody I've ever seen. They can cut a pair of britches off in no time at all to get to you to take care of you.
And it won't take long.
No, it won't. EMTs. Again, that's just one of the many things that you can do out at MCC. That number to call, let me see, I got one here for you, 553-3487. If you want to know more about that, inbox us. We'll get you the information, have somebody from MCC get in touch with you to tell you more.
Check them out online, everything that they've got to offer.
Let's see, we go out to Evans Farms in Shibuya to say good morning and salute.
Good morning.
A few comments. What are they saying about 493, Odie?
Yeah, there's a bump while they're having to get the old road up and complete. I guess they've got one more surface that they've got to do to make that finalized paving. But there is a bump. And I'm sure everybody that's been on 493's already.
It rattled my teeth yesterday, and I thought, boy, Dylan Ray's truck needs new shocks. And I realized, no, that was just a crater.
Tires, shocks, bumper got dented. It was tough.
Also getting word that they're paving Highway 16 today, as we look at that, near Ford Store, where the Dollar General is there, right outside of Philadelphia. So if you got to go that direction, expect delays. All right, let's turn back the pages of time, and let's go back to 1920. And this was a sad day in 1920 as we'll start out in Philadelphia before we get to Meridian. This is what went on in 1920 in the early morning, 9:30 a.m. An F4 tornado rolled through Neshoba County and killed 27 people in Deemer. It would move on just before 10 o'clock and hit Meridian and kill 36 people before it was all said and done. 219 people would die in Mississippi and Alabama on April the 20th of 1920.
1920, you know how much warning they had?
None.
And we've come a long way with radar and forecast, and we make fun of the weatherman. Well, he said it was going to rain and it ain't come a drop. Well, that's all guesstimations, but you've got to have something so this doesn't. And that's why we push out, hey, find your hiding spot and your safe spot and get in it now because of that right there.
That's correct there. Do you know who Jessica Lange is? She's a movie star.
Now.
She's a movie star, isn't she?
Yeah, she's played, I can't remember what she's played in, but I've seen her in a couple of them.
Yeah, me neither, but she's having a birthday today if you recognize her as an actress in your favorite film. We should have known a little bit more about her, shouldn't we?
Should have researched it. Look at here, Sheriff Kemp and his wife, Kathy. We love your show. Watch it every morning. Keep up the good work.
Now,
thank you.
There's this rumor, and it's just a mere rumor, that Todd can sing a little bit, and he walks around and does all this stuff.
And we've got to get him in to do a little tune in the bucket.
I want to hear some swing low, sweet chariot. I want to hear him cut up on that.
Yeah, he's got a big quartet.
What was that Elvis song, Walk Them Golden Stairs?
Ooh.
I like that. Big Elvis fan there.
Miss Kathy's going to have to come in with him when we get him down.
Yes, sirree. 1957, I was all shook up. Elvis Presley was number one today.
Oh, shook up.
Mm-hmm. That's all I can make of that song.
Me too.
Boy, what a great song that was from Elvis. This next guy, you're not going to know his name, but boy, this face when you show you this picture. Let's go back to the Future.
McFly.
Do you pronounce that Crispin Clover?
That's the way I would do it.
I'd have a long talk with my parents if they named me Crispin, because it sounded like they went down to get some chicken. Do you want that crispy or not? Boy, Bless his heart.
Yeah,
He
nobody
caught-
forget it.
He caught the devil at school, didn't he?
Oh, you know he did.
But McFly celebrating a birthday
Yeah.
today.
Happy birthday, man.
That was a really, really good movie. Can you do it? Trailers for sale or rent. Roger Moore.
Man,
Not
King of the
well,
Road.
Roger Miller, I meant.
Roger-
King of the Road was number one today. Rooms for 50 cents.
Dang.
Man of Means. Boy, what a song that was. And he was just one of those that is iconic. You can't beat
Oh, yeah,
Roger Miller.
everybody's heard that song. Everybody.
Yes, sir. 1969, this guy would be born. He had at least 2 hits. He was big in the early 90s. Old enough to know better, still too young to care. Anybody remember
Yeah.
Wade Hayes?
You missed an A. But that's all right.
He had one other song, I'm Still Dancing With You, if anybody remembers that. Outside of that, it gets kind of blurry for me. That was 35 years ago. Can y'all
I know
believe
they're
it?
old enough to know better.
Yep.
Wow.
Wake up with a hammer in my hand. Let's go back to 1972. And again, I know her name, and I know she's big, but she's not on my plate. She is a singer, right?
She is.
Okay. Anybody know Carmen Electra?
And I've listened to a couple of her songs. Cannot name them,
Right.
but yeah.
Winnie saw Roger in Japan.
Well, dang.
Now, this was one of those shows that I never watched,
Yeah.
but I know to a lot of young ladies, this was huge. I think it was the 90s, wasn't it? Blossom, anybody remember that TV
You know,
show?
with all the girls in the house, I don't remember watching this one.
I know that I heard it somewhere that it was big. Joey Lawrence was a character on there. I don't know what ever become of him, but he was big back in the day.
Yeah, you don't hear much from him anymore.
I saw something on her a few weeks ago. I think she turned out to be an activist, possibly. That's an alleged because I can't back that up.
Chained herself to a tree.
Yeah, let me tell you how things have changed in America. In 1974, it was cool to do this. It was so cool, they put him on the front of TV Guide smoking a smoke. They wouldn't. Columbo was on the cover back then.
All right. Just one more thing. Just one more thing.
He
I love
always
Columbo.
bungled, but boy, he sure got him.
yeah. Yeah, he did. I just got to think. Just ask you one more thing.
His clothes never looked like they'd been ironed. He looked
Or
like
washed.
he fell out of bed.
It's all right. He was steadily looking for a man.
Do you remember the Bruce Willis movie to where he's the detective? Was it Every Given Sunday where he's the detective and the Wayans brothers, one of the main stars in it?
Oh yeah.
Was it Any Given Sunday or something like that? And he does the jig at the end, the dance up in front of everybody after catching the
Maybe
bad guy.
that's what it was.
We'll look that up one day.
Somebody will get us.
History was made on this day. I was a kid, and I can remember hearing Ken Rainey play this for the first time. It would change this man's life forever. He would release it, and then a few years later, he would be a born-again Christian. He would take his own money and go, wait a minute, guys, I said a word that I didn't like. Let's have that brought back, and let me pay for this to have that word taken out. And he did.
Yeah.
Charlie Daniels, The Devil Went Down to Georgia, was released on this date, and the rest is history, as they say.
Man, that was a good song.
This man was a gentleman among gentlemen. I cannot tell you how highly patriotic and a good man he was.
Well, now, didn't you and Seymour the Fish bring him to the Temple Theater?
Let's see, I brought him, Seymour wasn't involved in it. We brought him to the Ag Center back in...
The Ag Center, that's it.
He was my very first concert in 2000.
Okay.
So it's been 23 years ago. And let me tell you something about Charlie Daniels. It doesn't matter if he's in an airport, what he's doing. If a kid comes up and he's in the middle of a conversation, wants to meet him, he goes, hang on, guys, wait a minute. And he'd bend down and he'd take a picture with him.
Wow.
Fullest respect for that man that could ever be given. As I said, a gentleman among gentlemen there. As we go back, a lot of you won't remember this, but I remember because it had old Benson in it and a few others. Anybody remember this TV show called Soap?
And I want to say that I saw a couple of episodes or something. I had to, because like you had Benson in it and a couple of others.
It didn't last long. It wasn't a big hit. They tried, and it was corny. And it
Miss
flopped.
Pat from Aldersgate's joined us. She joined us the other day, and so good morning. We still enjoyed going out and talking.
Absolutely. I cannot believe that this man is no longer with us. In my mind, he's still 40 years old and singing all the great hits, Angel in Disguise. But today, Fire and Smoke was released to radio as Earl Thomas Conley was the king of radio in the 80s. I think he had somewhere around 16 number ones during the 1980, the most of anybody. He had more than Alabama. Can you believe that?
That's doing something.
It was. But Once in a Blue Moon, I'll Get Something Right, and Loving Her, and Loving You. Woo, boy. Hardest thing I've ever had to do. Anybody remember? This was the 100th episode of this. Now, I did not like the show because me and her views are...
Yeah, I didn't watch anything on this at all.
She had great legs, I'll give her that.
Well, yeah.
But she was tough. Grouchy. That's why I didn't watch the show. Now, this next guy, we had 3 channels, and we picked it up on the educational television show. Why they would air this on the educational network, I do not know. But that's where we got it piped into Scuba, Mississippi. Because it was always a young lady in risque clothing in the scene, some way, somehow.
Well, yeah, he was always water the plants with the water hose, but the camera, the camera angle.
Yep.
And he's the first person that taught me what assume means.
Yeah. Benny Hill passed away on this date. If you've never watched it, it was funny. It wasn't a lot of words said. It was just little videos of him, like you said, watering flowers and incidents happen.
Yeah, it's comedy that a lot of people would not get. Millennials would not understand.
No, they would
the TV
not.
show.
But it was funny during the day, and it was huge.
Yeah.
A sad day in 1999 in the United States of America, as we would find out the Columbine High School shooting would take place. How horrible that was, as we remember those who lost their lives some 24 years ago. Now, this next guy, you could be fooled because you see it on television where he goes, "Hi, I'm Jimmy Dean. Let me tell you about these biscuits." Well, Jimmy Dean ain't no more with us. They still using his likeness to sell those biscuits, but he lost his home in 2009 before he passed away as they showed up on the scene and his home burned to the ground.
Cooking that sausage.
That's what happened. We would also lose another one. A guy named, what was his name, Odie?
On a TV.
Oh, you know this. It starts with an E, ends with a B. Ebb. We lost him today. Tom Lester. Now, wasn't he from Mississippi?
Yes, he's a Mississippi boy.
Thought
so. Was. On Green Acres is a place to be.
That was a funny show. She was so pretty, wasn't she?
Oh, Zsa Zsa Gabor.
That was her sister, wasn't it?
I thought that was Zsa Zsa.
I thought it was her sister, but it's in the Gabor family for sure.
Yeah.
That's the way it was.
That's pretty.
Yeah, she was a gorgeous woman there. We got more. This ain't over yet.
Yeah, we ain't through. It's still...
we got 20 more minutes to bug you.
Well, we are moving quick.
Very quick. We'll be right back.
Nothing adds more value to your home than well-manicured landscaping. Distinctive Borders can transform the look of your residential or commercial landscaping with continuous decorative concrete curbing. Distinctive Borders adds an attractive, durable, and permanent solution that will add value and prestige to the overall appearance of your home's landscape. Choose from a custom range of colors and patterns at an affordable price. Call them today for your free estimate and design idea. Distinctive Borders, 601-490-3678.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Are you looking for a trustworthy place to buy your next car or truck? Visit my friends at Massey Supermart Auto Sales. They've been doing business since 1955. There's a reason they've been in business for so long. They have fair prices, superior service, and repeat customers. For your next quality pre-owned vehicle, it's Massey Supermart Auto Sales. Taking care of your car needs at 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
Hello, my name's Kenneth Graham, and I'm running for coroner of Lauderdale County. For over 50 years, Lauderdale County's been represented by professional and competent coroners. I would like to continue that tradition. Over the next several months, I want to educate the public on what the coroner does and dispel any myths about the coroner job. I can show you that I will be the most professional coroner there is. So please vote for me August the 8th.
Paid for by the Committee for the Election of Kenneth Graham. Welcome back, and as you're around town, there's something you ought to notice there, and that's that little red pick-em-up truck. Maple's one-stop shop. They've got everything you need if you're out thirsty, need a drink. 2 for $4 right now on these Pepsi products. Mountain Dew, Steri, some water there. Pepsi products, a great thing there.
That's it. I love them Mountain Dew.
Yeah, energy drinks, they've got plenty of those to choose from. 2 for $5. Check those out. And as always, a great menu. Breakfast being served now out at Causeyville there and also the 31st Avenue. But lunchtime coming up before long. A great lunch on the way for you.
And they definitely treat you right when you go in there. Smile on their face. Clean store. Smells good.
And if you're moody, they got you a Snickers bar for you there.
That's right.
Straighten
so
that out.
Hangry no more.
That's right. 6 locations scattered across town. They'll take care of you from Causeyville to Pine Springs, Bonita, all the way from 31st, Broadmoor, and Last Chance Tobacco there on 493, where you should watch the traffic.
They everywhere.
Anthony Chancellor sent us an email. We brought up the J-turn at Clarkdale. Yeah. And I'll let you explain what he told us there.
So there was a bad wreck with a 3 fatality wreck back in 2017, and that's what triggered this J-turn. And since then, there's been minor fender benders, but nothing major. So
and that's good. So it works.
So something's worked, and it has kept that area safe. 2017. That's
now,
a good little way.
If you'll remember, and as Anthony pointed out to us, he spent a bunch of his early highway patrol career camped out there over the wrecks that would happen there. I can remember the highway patrol being in there, and it was incident after incident, people trying to get over to Clarkdale School, pulling out, and things happen.
And it wasn't perpendicular. It was at an angle, so...
That bar, and we all know this, that bar on your windshield, if you're positioned just right, you cannot see. And you will pull out in front of somebody. So it did work. I want to say that they told me, because I was on the committee, I had to go down and meet with, it seemed like it was like $55,000 that just a few signs. Wow. You wouldn't think that it would cost that much.
Just to have a little something done like that. I wonder if Sheriff Chandler's going to be down there when he's sheriff.
Oh, we'll have to check it out.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him about that.
Let's see what else we do know that is happening this morning. Let's see. I want to start with this. We have a woman... Lee County, Mississippi. I don't know how this could escalate to this, but say you've got a problem with the teacher. Your kitty is in the class, and you go in to talk to the teacher before school. Gets to a point where you whip out a butcher knife and threaten the teacher. She won't be doing that anymore because charges have been pressed and they have picked her up. Lee County is where that went on. I honestly don't understand how a conversation can lead to any type weapon being pulled in just a verbal argument.
And these are, you send your kids off to a school for 8 hours. And they know your kids as well as you do.
Right.
And maybe they tell you that, or maybe more on some of these parents. And then they tell you there's a problem and you get so mad you pull a knife on a teacher because it wasn't what you heard or what you wanted to hear. You know,
something wrong there.
Something's wrong.
We're getting a message there from John that is heavy fog at NAS Meridian now. Let me go back and pull up radar, and radar shows this. Let me show this to everyone if you're getting ready to head out this morning as we pull up Meridian Honda radar. Look at this. This red is as thick as it gets.
Yeah, so leave early.
Yes, sir, Bob. Now, something that I do want to show y'all as we look at this, let's go to the severe weather and quickly look at what's going to be happening tomorrow. Let me go here to day 2 and turn to day off. This is what we're expecting tomorrow. This is a level 1 as we look at this for tomorrow. No severe as in above, but this is a level 1, what we're expecting tomorrow. And this goes all the way through Lauderdale County, takes in Kemper County, and most of Knoxville, all of Winston County, back over to the west side of the state. And again, our biggest threat that we will have with this will be the wind, Odie. It's going to be rain. But as always, if you want to know what's going on with the weather, follow us. We are your first choice for weather. We'll be live at any time the weather breaks out to let you know what's going on.
And walk you through everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. Not just here, but watching this thing come from out west, coming back over our area, off into Alabama. So you're going to get your weather information right here.
Do you remember Johnny Cash singing? I think Waylon was with him when he sang about there ain't no good chain gangs.
Golly, yeah.
And then the chorus to the song was there ain't you don't go writing hot checks down in Mississippi. That leads to our next story. Is 4 men from out of state were arrested in Oxford, Mississippi, and that's what they were doing, forging checks, and they'll be lined up somewhere now. Nevada, they were from all over. This is a huge scam that goes on nationwide. Glad 4 people were taken off the streets and won't be able to take innocent people's money.
That's right. Get that took care of and make a statement. Don't come here.
Did you hear about this, about in the Adams County, Natchez area, where they found somebody in the trunk of a car?
Vaguely.
Yeah, they're sending them off to find out what went on. I'm going to go ahead out on a limb here and say that it was foul play.
Yeah, he didn't just climb up in there to play hide and go seek.
And I had a complaint yesterday against you, Odie, and I got to put it out there. I had a gentleman stop me and said he has replaced 3 iPad screens since you started here. And he said he kept trying to adjust it to make you look prettier like Debbie and Candace. And he said he just can't make you pretty and as much as he's tried.
I got a face for radio, and I'm right here on your TV set every morning. We are live and on air from TV to Facebook to YouTube. You know we've got you covered, and you're just stuck with that right there.
That's all. This is the best as it gets. Do y'all remember the story in Mexico of the lady that was kidnapped? Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
And 2 people killed? She's been arrested on Myrtle Beach, the lady that survived that.
Oh.
And you go, why would this young lady be arrested?
Yeah.
Contributing to the delinquence of a minor. She might have let somebody underage have alcohol. And again, it's alleged at this point. Charges pending.
Find out what really happened.
Wow. Good morning to you. Y'all put a smile on Watch That Fog. We'll tell you more.
Hi, I'm Nick Lisi. I am owner of Pinch and Tails Crawfish Shack here in Marion, Mississippi. We are located right across the street from the Subway Sandwich Shop, right next to the Little Griddle. If you're a seafood lover, we have the absolute best seafood in town. We carry crawfish, shrimp, lobster tails, raw oysters, snow crab, corn potato sausage, all the fixins. And for all of your special orders and catering needs, please call 601-934-0598. We're located in downtown Marion.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, we'll travel.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, Mississippi, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been operating for over 10 years and boasts over 30 vendors with a rotating inventory to fit that something you're looking for. Inventory is constantly updating, so there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located on 335 West Main Street in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Well, the prediction of the day is, well, it's going to be busy at the farm supply coming up Saturday morning. Well, probably later today. It's beautiful outside to pick up chickens and a whole lot more, Odie.
Yeah, they're going to need some extra ones over in Philadelphia. And
yeah, that's right. Come on down and get you a chick there.
Oh, man.
Of course, grass seed and anything that you want to do there to brighten your yard and make it look good. There's so many people working those water hoses to, well, anything you might need, even some gloves to get down on there. Little water spouts, they got that in places to sit. Seed, feed, and a whole lot more, including guns, ammo, all in one place for turkey hunters as well. You'll find it with boots and a whole lot more, even for your pups. See them today. Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Exit 151 right off the interstate will lead you to the front door. Let's see, we're getting word that it's foggy at the Rock House in between there and Collinsville, so be careful on Highway 19.
It's going to be foggy just about everywhere this morning. So, and then hopefully that'll clear up for tomorrow and Saturday. Don't forget the Paul Thompson golf tournament with the Hamaza Shriners. So call Richard at Hamaza Shriners and get more information on that tournament coming up this weekend. And something that we need to go back and do in history.
And what do we need to do?
Back, is it 2011?
2011, remind me.
I think, is when we had the Horizon.
Oh, the Deepwater Horizon.
Deepwater Horizon fire. We lost, was it 11 people?
Oh, it was somewhere right around there.
On that right there. But our thoughts and prayers are with the families that lost someone out there on that rig.
That's a real close network, and it's close to us here because so many people do that for a living.
Yeah, in our area. So, definitely thoughts and prayers go out, and just everybody takes for granted the gasoline that we put in our vehicles to get us up and down the road. And it's the type of work that these men and women do out there in the middle of the ocean.
That's right. As we want to remind you, we're also getting word that it's foggy also near Brewer Sawmill there in Newton. A lot of fog coming up in that area also.
Alligator, what's the Willows Peak? You got to fill me in on that.
Yeah, I don't know that one. We got that comment.
Yeah. Alligator, fill me in on it.
As we see nationwide, we got to go. We'll be back tomorrow morning.
23 hours away.
Listen, we got 60. Wait a minute, we got 60 seconds. We got. Yeah. Oops. Want to remind you. All right, I was going to bring this up. Disney getting ready to slash a bunch of jobs. Odie.
Well,
15% of the workforce is going. They've been arguing with the governor, and it just ain't happening.
Well, I mean, they want everything catered and given to them at the taxpayer's expense. You can't take a family of 4 up there for less than $7,000-8,000, and then they want everybody that lives down that way to basically take care of them. There's a problem.
Don't forget, tonight is the third Thursday beginning at Dumont Plaza at 5:30 tonight. Should last to 8:30 downtown Meridian. Come enjoy. Okay, we're on our mark now. We got to give it back to the TV station. They got things to do, they said.
Yeah, they want to start their next show. Fastest TV show around.
Y'all join us. We'll be back tomorrow morning to end your week, tell you all about the weather and so much more.
That's right.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.